I'd like to call a meeting to order. This is the East Brandywine Township Board of Supervisors PM meeting, Thursday, May 18th, 2023. A recording device will be used during this meeting. And let's start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rules for public comment and conduct of public meetings were established by Resolution 2001-08. The time allocated to each individual making a comment shall be 3 minutes unless otherwise set by the presiding officer. Additional public comment may be granted at the discretion of the presiding officer at the conclusion of the meeting. I set the time limit of 3 minutes. Minutes of the previous meeting. They're in your packet.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the prior meeting. Second.
All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, authorization to pay bills and approve payroll. I have reviewed the bills and had no questions, so anybody else have any questions?
I'm
Is
good.
there, looking at it?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report, the authorization to pay bills and approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me. Item number 5 already. Reports. Township manager report is first up.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. PennDOT has informed the township that beginning Monday, June 19th, and for a period of 2 weeks, Horseshoe Pike will be closed to all traffic between the My Place at Downingtown Development and Edges Mill Road, the entire closure located in Cowan Township. This road closure is necessary to install a sanitary sewer serving the My Place at Downingtown Residential Development, also located in Cowan Township. The official detour, as determined by PennDOT, has been revised from the one that was previously shared on the township's website and in the spring 2023 mile marker newsletter. Instead of Bondsville Road in East Brandywine Township, the new detour is PA 82 or Manor Road, located in West Brandywine Township. Please support our local businesses. Horseshoe Pike will remain open in East Brandywine Township, allowing access to all businesses along Horseshoe Pike throughout the construction period. The portion of the road closed is just a small section of Horseshoe Pike in Cowan Township between Edges Mill and Gendry Drive. PennDOT has stated that it's not possible to perform this work with single lane closures or night work. The work involves a jack and bore operation under the existing culvert that carries a stream under the road. To do this, the developer must excavate pits on either side of the culvert. This excavation requires the use of large equipment that will occupy much of the roadway space and precludes allowing even one lane of traffic to get by safely in a typical work zone pattern. PennDOT considered multiple options and determined a complete closure is the only feasible option. Residents are encouraged to check ebrandywine.org for updates. I'd also like to extend a thank you. While no one is enthusiastic about the closure, I would like to thank State Representative Friel Otten and PennDOT for considering the concerns that we raised about the prior detour, which was Bondsville Road. We did not anticipate that it would be relocated entirely, but it is evidence that they at least took seriously our concerns about the ability of Bondsville Mill to handle the detour traffic. Second, this evening, I'd like to draw the board's attention to the first page of the treasurer's report adopted earlier this evening. Please note there are 3 new assets, otherwise known as bank accounts, shown. They are 105.02 traffic impact, 106.02 open space referendum, and 118-21F Capital Fund. These are the same three accounts referenced in the board's March 16th motion to name Fulton Bank as the depository for township funds. As Chairman Croft reported at the time, these new collateralized accounts have significantly higher interest rates. Earlier this week, Chairman Croft, Treasurer Lisa Velitis, and I were physically present at both S&T and Fulton Banks to facilitate the transfer of funds. The S&T bank accounts remain open with minimum balances. Thanks to Chairman Croft for his leadership in researching the most favorable terms, and to Ms. Velitis for her work in managing the transition. Township staff has developed a volunteer expense voucher for the reimbursement of out-of-pocket expenses incurred by non-employees. While the preferred method for purchases at the township is always staff-initiated transaction on existing tax-exempt accounts, the township recognizes that there are some circumstances, such as travel expenses, where this is not possible. Volunteers should check with their committee chairperson prior to making out-of-pocket purchases, and the form describes acceptable documentation for reimbursement. This is the form that members of this board will use to request reimbursement for expenses such as travel to the PSAT's annual conference. The form is also available online at ebrandywine.org/volunteer expense. A copy is also attached to my report this evening. Briefly, a summary of upcoming events before the board meets again. This Sunday, the third Spring Speaker Series hosted by the Historical Commission, featuring a presentation entitled Build Your Own Door, will be in this room on Sunday, May 21st at 3 p.m. On May 23rd at 6 p.m., the Memorial Day flag installation will occur at the East Brandywine Township Community Park. Everyone is reminded that the first of 6 yard waste collections of 2023 is on May 27th. You can see what kind of material you can put curbside and see other dates throughout the calendar year at ebrandywine.org/recycle. The first collection is May 27th. And then lastly, there is the first of 3 free family movies in the park, featuring the film The Croods 2, and that will be on June 16th at 8:30 p.m., or as soon as it's dark enough to project a movie on a screen. Respectfully submitted, Luke Revan, Township Manager.
Thank you. I'd like to add a little here. I want to thank the township staff for following through and finishing the transfer of the monies from the 3 accounts to the new bank account. So now we have relations with 2 different banks, which is always good for competitive purposes. The reason the transfer was done, as I reported last time, was that the additional money earned each day over and above what we were getting at S&T is $800 a day for those 3 accounts. That's every day, Saturday and Sunday included. Yeah, it's $300,000 a year. So that'll help our open space fund, our traffic impact, and our capital account. And the expense voucher is something that to give them better direction to our many, many volunteers who sometimes, in order to get things done quickly, go out and spend money and want reimbursement. We had no formal policies or way of judging the reimbursements, which has caused some problems and some larger ones. So this expense reimbursement voucher will hopefully solve the bill there and make things more organized. And when we're audited by the state auditors or the independent auditors, we now have proper documentation. Before, we weren't always having everything. So, again, I applaud the staff for the extra work there. Thank you. Building inspector's report.
Shall I just briefly read it into the record?
Sure.
Okay. Total building permit issued in April 2023 was 21. Total zoning permits issued was 3. Fees collected for building and zoning permits was $29,048. There were 19 use and occupancy permits issued and 110 inspections completed with 0 failures of the inspections. Total fees collected were $29,048. Respectfully submitted, Noran King, Permits Administrator.
Thank you. Roadmaster's report.
Thank you. During the past 2 weeks, we rented a machine that melts mastic for repairing sections of roads. This material is different than the usual crack sealing. The material has small stone in the mastic and is used to apply over large areas. It's intended to keep water from entering the road surface, causing further degradation of the asphalt and fill potholes and large cracks. The stone in the mastic provides traction for vehicles. We also use the material to fill in around manholes and inlets that are being struck during plowing, although we didn't do any plowing this past winter, but this is the first time the department has used this process. We are interested to see how it holds up during the plowing operation. I included a couple photos which shows sealing around an inlet and also around a manhole that was being struck during the wintertime. Bids are due by 11 a.m. on May 24th for our 2023 paving contract. I'll be requesting the board approve the bids during your June 1st meeting. This year, the bids are separated into 2 contracts, the first being base repair, leveling, applying fabric, and overlay. And the roads we are going to do that on are Kristen Circle, School Lane, Keller Way, La Vita Villa, Batten Drive, and there's going to be some repairs to Township portion of Hopewell Road. The second contract is for chip sealing of Timber Pass, Banyan Lane, and both sections of the Cumberland Ridge development. Dead ash trees continue to be a problem throughout the township. We've removed numerous trees along our roads and parks. Some of the trees, due to their location, have been removed by a tree company due to the department not having the equipment to safely remove the trees. We'll continue to remove trees on an as-needed basis. Some of the upcoming projects for the department are replacing a cross pipe on Batten Drive in the area of Hopewell Road. This will be completed prior to road paving. We will also be replacing a driveway pipe on Pancoast. This pipe is undersized, causing stormwater to cross the road during heavy storms. Another project is the removal of swings, benches, and playground equipment in Phase 1 of the community park. This is in anticipation of the new restrooms. The department continues to repair inlets in various locations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Police Department report.
Good evening. During the month of April, the East Brandywine Township Police Department completed a total of 2,323 events, which included 199 investigations and 9 vehicle accidents. These investigations resulted in 7 criminal arrests, 1 summary arrest, and 2 warrant arrests. Additionally, the police department conducted traffic enforcement resulting in 153 citations and 79 written warnings. The total patrol mileage was 10,913. Also during April, the entire agency conducted their less lethal training and firearms qualification. Thank you.
Thank you. Fire Company report.
Good evening, Joe Edwards for the East Brandywine Fire Department. In the month of April, we responded to 71 total incidents, 42 fire, 29 medical. In East Brandywine Township, we had 15 fire and 15 medical. We responded to various outside agencies as mutual aid. We used 285 gallons of East Brandywine fuel. We had 6 total trainings with an average of 21 people in attendance. Our average fire response for personnel were 14, and for major incidents, 19. I'd like to bring to your attention the photo on the screen in the monitor as to not to embellish the amount of numbers of men we have, but this was our training last night where 30 people attended, and while these 30 people attended training, the chief, the deputy chief, and myself attended a Fire One graduation where we had a East Brandywine Township resident by the name of Sarah Vanan Managadin, who was a Indian Special Forces member who walked into East Brandywine and said he wanted to be a firefighter. And last night he graduated as a certified fireman for East Brandywine Fire Company. Also, we were pleased to announce that we took in 5 new members this month. Thank you.
Wow, okay. And the April Planning Commission minutes. And it's the meeting of April 5th, which I did not attend. I don't know if anybody has any questions on the minutes.
I'm good.
All right, is there a motion to accept the minutes?
Make a motion to accept the planning commission's April minutes.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Thank you. Item 6, is there any old business? Seeing none, I'll move on to item 7, new business. Seeing none, I'll move on to item 8, subdivision and zoning applications. I'll move on to item 9, ordinances and resolutions for consideration.
None of those either.
Doesn't sound like we did much. Item number 10, public comment on non-agenda items. Mr. Weaver, you have any comments? Oh, okay. And item 11, notices. There was no executive session held on Friday, May 4th. Shouldn't that be Thursday?
You are correct.
Should be Thursday. And the Thursday, May 4th, and the PM session on May 18th. There will be executive session held tonight after the meeting to discuss legal and real estate matters. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.